Hey book lovers, what's up? My name is Miriam and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to do a book talk for Snow Like Ashes by the lovely Sarah Rosh. So I'm going to start with a non-spoilery section on my thoughts for this book and then move into a spoilery discussion. But I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to start by giving you guys a premise of what the world is like in this book. So we have 8 kingdoms. There's 4 rhythm kingdoms and 4 season kingdoms. And the 4 season kingdoms are spring, summer, winter, and autumn. So how the magic system works in this world is that each kingdom has a conduit or like an object that the monarch or the king or queen of that kingdom can use to help its kingdom thrive and survive. So for each kingdom, that conduit can only be used by male or female. So for example, in this book, we follow the characters from the Winter Kingdom. The monarch is a male, but the conduit can only be used by a female. So he can't use that conduit to help his kingdom. So we kick off in this book knowing that the Winter Kingdom was taken over by the Spring Kingdom. And there's only 8 Winterians left right now, and they're trying to get back their kingdom, and they don't have their conduit. And even if they did have their conduit, their king, Mather, can't use it, because only a queen can use their conduit. We're basically following our main character, Mayra, who's one of the 8 Winterians left trying to get back their magic and restore their kingdom. So like I said, I really enjoyed this book, and I thought the main thing that really got me was the world building, because I thought it was fantastic. Like, everything was planned out so beautifully, and all the traditions and cultures that Sarah Rosh wove into this book for each kingdom, even if it wasn't like the season kingdoms, like the rhythm kingdoms each one had their own thing going on too, and their own cultures and their own traditions. And I really enjoyed that aspect of the world building. And the other thing, Sarah wrote this when she was 12 years old. Like, how insane is that? To build such an amazing and fantastic and well thought out world at the age of 12. Now, I think that that's something that was really cool and really added to the aspect of the book, because she was really passionate about it, and you could tell that this world was something that she held very dear to her for such a long time. The other thing is the characters in this story are very complex. There are so many layers to them, and they're so interesting and intriguing, and you just kind of want to know more about the characters and what they're going to do, and it makes you really care for them. So I really enjoyed that aspect of this book as well. So if you're a very character-driven reader, then I would definitely say that this book is for you, and I would recommend. The pacing of this story was also really awesome, because it wasn't too fast and it wasn't too slow. I never felt like nothing was happening or too much was happening. So I really enjoyed the pacing of this book. So with the world building, characters, plot, and pacing, I really enjoyed this story, and I think it's a great first book to a trilogy. So Ice Like Fire, the second book, is out, and Frost Like Night, the third and final book, is coming out September 20th. I still haven't read Ice Like Fire, but I'm really excited to get to it and see what these characters are going to be up to in the next book. So now I'm going to get into my spoilery thoughts on this book. So if you haven't read this book, I suggest you leave now so you don't get spoiled for anything, because trust me, you don't want to get spoiled for anything that happens in this book. It was fantastic. No, for real, I'm serious. If you haven't read this book, you don't want to be spoiled, so go. Bye now. So that plot twist at the end, did you guys see that coming? I knew something was up with her parents. Like, I knew that there was something special about her parents. For some reason, I was convinced that Sir was her dad, and that was really the first thing that clued me in, was like Sir and Mayra's relationship. For some reason, I thought that he was her dad, but I should have seen it. Like, I should have seen that Sir was actually Mather's dad, because he loved him and he treated him like so lovingly that it should have been obvious that Sir was his dad. I don't know why, but I was like, it's gonna happen. Sir is her dad. Sir is her dad. Sir is her dad. And I thought that Sir and Mayra's relationship was like really interesting. I felt for Mayra all those times when she was like, I wish she was my father, or like, I wish that he would treat me like his daughter. And you really felt for her during those parts, and very much showed like, oh, she really looked up to him, like as a father, as a parental figure. Especially when they're leaving their little camp after the spring soldiers find them, and she's traveling with Sir, which is another thing. Like, he wanted to travel with her, obviously, to keep her protected. So, obviously, she's the queen. There's so many little hints after you find out a plot twist, and then it's like, oh, that's why that happened, or that's why the writer did this. So in that part of the book, you could tell that she really, really cared about what he thought of her, and especially when he called her a good soldier, and she really, really was happy about that. Like, you could tell that that was very much what their relationship resembled, like a father-daughter relationship. So maybe that's why I thought Sir was her dad, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, no. Like, there's no indication, but I was right that something was up with her parents. That I was right about. Then after that whole thing when the spring soldiers found their camp and they go to the kingdom of Cordell, I was so mad at Mather. I was furious. I was like, I texted my friend, I was like, I hate him. Like, why would he do something like that? The whole arranged marriage thing, and I couldn't stand it. But I really liked how Theron dealt with it. I loved Theron's character. Like, he's one of my new favorite characters. I really, really love the trope where the evil king has a son that actually cares about everyone. Like, you could see it in a few books. The way Theron dealt with the whole arranged marriage situation, the way he knows every single servant and what their lives are like, and he actually talks to them. You could tell that he cares about his people. You could tell that he's going to be a great king one day. And all that really added to his character and made you really, really love him more. So I was really stuck at the end of the book with this whole triangle between Mather, Theron, and then Mayra. And I don't really know what side I'm on right now. Like, I feel like I'm more leaning towards Theron. But at the same time, I feel like Mather's a great character too. I just don't love him as much as Theron, and I don't feel like he has that greatness that Theron does. But I still really enjoy his character. Another thing I really loved was the banter between Theron and Mayra. When there's dialogue between two characters and there's like sass and banter and back and forth, that is my favorite thing ever. I found myself laughing a lot of the times when Theron and Mayra were interacting. They just had a great chemistry and great banter. So like, Mayra is trying to learn more about magic, and Theron asks her like what are you doing? And she says, I'm trying to learn more about magic. And then Theron is just like, oh, while reading a book called Magic in Primordia? No. That was so funny. And they had a lot of great banter like that throughout the book, so I thought that really added to their relationship. So then after that, this whole thing happens where Spring is attacking Cordell. And I was so anxious when she was going out into the attack. I was like, that's it. Like, why would you let her go out into the attack? I was like 500% sure something was going to happen. Something bad was definitely going to happen. And then Sir's death happened, and I was like, no, why? Like, he was such an interesting character. And at that point, I was like, no, I don't want him to be dead, because, like, Mayra actually really does care about him. He's super annoying, but she cares about him. And I was really, really happy at the end when we found out that he wasn't dead. When Mayra gets captured and she's in Spring territory and she's in these labor camps, I really, really enjoyed that scene where she brought down the Spring soldiers, because she really used her intelligence and her brain to come up with a plan to help her people. And I thought that was really cool how she did that. I really enjoy when characters use their intelligence to formulate a plan rather than just like brute force. And I really think that adds to Mayra's character and really makes her more of an interesting person, because she's not just like a fighter, but she's a fighter and a thinker. But then when that scene happened and then the little boy like was trying to defend her, first of all, when they introduced him, I knew something was going to happen to him. And it really, really spoke to the horror of war and what war can do to a child, because they're forced to grow up so quickly and give up their lives. They don't get the chance to be a child. It really broke my heart when he tried to defend her. And when they were beating him, my heart was broken. But then I was really, really like relieved when Mayra healed him. And then we find out everything about her magic. That whole part right after that was the best part of the book, because then we had so many things happening. We find out who really is like the monarch of the Winter Kingdom, and that they can actually use the magic conduit, and that Mayra is like really, really helpful to her people, and how we see how Mayra is really, really inspirational and like such a true symbol of hope and freedom for the Winterians. I love that ending scene where all the Winterians are just like revolting against the springs, and everyone is just like looking at her with hope. Even the people who were just so hopeless before now are just like looking at her like ready to fight, like, yes, my queen is back. Just made me so emotional. So overall, I really enjoyed Snow Like Ashes, and I would definitely recommend it as one of the best YA fantasies I've read. And I thought its premise was really unique. I'm definitely excited to see more of the world, learn a little bit more about the Rhythm Kingdoms, and I'm super duper excited for political intrigue as they set up winter, because that's one of my favorite things in YA fantasy these days. So let me know what you guys thought of Snow Like Ashes, and we can discuss down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Bye!